Hello, you're watching News9 live. It's Telangana Formation Day today and many wishes poured in for the youngest state in India. Telangana was formed out of Andhra Pradesh in 2014, although the long journey to statehood actually began in 1952. But it was today, that is 2nd of June 2014, that K Chandrasekhar Rao, popularly known as KCR, took oath as the first Chief Minister of the new state. While the Congress party-led UPA government played a significant role in fulfilling the long-standing dream of the people, the credit for the separate statehood largely goes to just one man, and that being K Chandrasekhar Rao. KCR quit the Telugu Desam party, that is the TDP, and founded the Telangana Rashtra Samiti or TRS in 2001, marking the beginning of a new era. It is to his credit that it took him and his supporters 13 long years to fulfill the dream of Telangana. But then TRS became BRS. In 2022, it transformed. And somehow from then on, KCR, who had all along spoken and supported a federal front to take on the Modi dispensation at the center, something actually changed. Now KCR has literally checked out of the so-called federal dream and has constantly been harping on a national role for changing the status quo, which actually means the BJP at the center. Is KCR suggesting that he wants to be the Prime Minister without actually voicing it? Can he actually become the Prime Minister with 119 seats? Can he make the cut? Or it is just a political dream, which who knows, may come true, because there is nothing impossible in Indian politics, or maybe it will fall by the wayside.
प्रक्रिया में कांग्रेस पार्टी की क्या भूमिका होगी? विपक्षी एकता में कांग्रेस पार्टी की क्या भूमिका रहेगी? राहुल गांधी क्या प्राइम मिनिस्टर के दावेदार रहेंगे? क्योंकि कांग्रेस पार्टी कहती है कि
अरे ये सब सवाल काहे के लिए
राहुल गांधी।
देखिए ऐसा है, नहीं सिंपल बात है। मैंने साफ कह दिया कि आप होशियार हैं, मैं आपसे भी होशियार हूँ। मैंने कह दिया है,
कहिएगा वही
भैया मैंने प्लीज मैंने बता दिया है। मैंने उनका नाम लिया तो आप बैठ जाइए। ऐसा है, हम जरूर बैठेंगे। भाजपा के जितना विरोधी दल है इस देश में, उनको सब एकजुट करने के हर संभव प्रयास हम करेंगे।
अब इससे बढ़िया बात आपको क्या कहें?
इसके बाद में बैठक में सर्वानुमति से, सर्वसहमति से जो बात निकल कर आती है वो विस्तार रूप में हम आपको बताएंगे, बिकॉज बिना ब्राह्मण के कोई शादी होता ही नहीं है।
The opposition is pretty well united, and I think it's getting more and more united. We are having conversations with all the opposition, and I think quite a lot of good work is happening there.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a complicated discussion because there are spaces where we are competing also with the opposition. So it's a little bit of give and take is required, but I'm confident that will happen.
The first bite you saw of K Chandrasekhar Rao was with Chief Minister of Bihar, that being Nitish Kumar. And guess what? On 12th of June, Nitish Kumar has called a meeting of all the so-called opposition to discuss further plans, and KCR has checked out. He is not going. There are several reasons. He says, "Main nahi jaunga." So let's understand. He says that I don't believe in all this. He's checked out, like I said. It's almost like I am not interested in all these. I am only interested in the chair in New Delhi, that is the Prime Ministerial chair. Vijay Grover is joining us. He's a senior journalist. Nagesh Kumar, who's a political analyst. Suresh Kochatil, who's a political analyst, is also joining us, and later PVS Murali, who is a political analyst. But as of now, I see two of my friends have joined. One is Nagesh Kumar and also Suresh Kochatil. A very welcome to all of you, to both of you rather, and we will wait for other friends, but let's start this conversation. Nagesh Kumar, first to you. You know, it is very clear now. KTR spoke on Thursday and he made it very clear. He says our party does not believe that there should be a two-party system in this country, number one. There should be an alternative. He also said that we do not believe in third front or fourth front, because he says political conditions vary from state to state. He also said, most importantly, Nagesh, that we don't want to unseat Narendra Modi. We just want to tell people the. Yeah, laugh a little, Nagesh. Even I laughed when I read. I mean, what's he saying? What does he mean? But I think that's an art, na Nagesh. Politics में ऐसा ही होता है, जो आप कहते हैं, you don't mean it. Anyway, then he says, we don't want to unseat Narendra Modi, but you know, he is most incompetent. It's very clear. I mean, you and I have been trained to read between lines. That's what our profession is as journalists. Don't you think KCR Garu clearly wants to be the Prime Minister of this country? He has national ambitions.
No, it is very clear that KCR wants to make his son KT Ramarao as the Chief Minister. So, what is the role left for him? He has to move to the center. About that, there is no doubt. But you know, the Nitish Kumar and others refuse to play ball. You know, if you have closely watched that press conference, he wanted to sort of declare the prime ministerial candidate from the platform in Patna. But Nitish Kumar virtually, physically, he had to say, let us end this press conference. So, but you know, KCR is known to shift his stand. And as far as Modi is concerned, he has been using quite the choicest invectives to describe Modi. Both father and son have been doing so. And now that he says that Modi is not our target, and that, targeting an individual or trying to unseat a party is not our aim. Our aim is to show the Telangana model to the rest of the country. This is ridiculous in the sense that, you know, each state has got its own model. Why should Gujarat has got the Telangana model? Gujarat has got its own model. Karnataka has its own model of development of IT. So now they are trying to say that, you know, we are the people who can set the agenda for the rest of the nation. But, you know, now, see, his high ambitions, he has taken a step back, because now he says that we are here for the long haul. I mean, this is something for people like me, it was quite evident. See, Telangana has got just 17 Lok Sabha seats. In the last elections that were held in 2019, KCR won only 9. 4 were won by BJP, 3 by the Congress, and 1 by OIC's MIM.
Right.
With 9 seats, 9 Lok Sabha seats in his kitty, how can he think of becoming anything more? Now, you see, he has floated that Bharat Rashtra Samiti in the hope that, you know, Telangana's name was not suited for him to contest from other states. So now he's saying that I'll contest from Maharashtra, I will contest from
Karnataka, yes, that is right.
Karnataka. Still, you know, he'll be far short. But, you know, in Karnataka also, let me point out here, first he said, I will contest from Karnataka in the assembly election. He did not.
Yes.
Next he said, I will campaign. He did not. Now, he says, now I'll contest for the Lok Sabha. So KCR shifts his stand. But there is absolutely no doubt whatsoever that his ambitions are national ambitions, and he wants to create a bigger place under the sun.
I'm happy. I mean, I'm happy you agree with me, because, you know, ladies and gentlemen, those who are watching this show, look at this. That's what we are asking. KCR's PM ambitions, and Nagesh, who's a senior journalist, says there is absolutely no doubt about it. But how will he do it? The method to the madness? Well, like he said, he keeps shifting his stand. So we'll have to wait and see. Let me go to the next guest. That is Suresh. Suresh, tell me something that, you know, if there is something about, today is Telangana Formation Day. First of all, we all know that it took a lot of struggle for K Chandrasekhar Rao. Remember, you know, he sat on hunger strike. He was, I mean, there are layers and layers. It wasn't easy for him. But tell me, does that, you know, does this political ambition, which is to catapult himself to the national arena, is it like Don Quixote, is what I'm asking you? I know that, you know, politics is very, very, because I'll tell you why. Because the ones he started his dialogue with, whether it's Stalin or whether it is Nitish Babu, of course, he also met Mamata Banerjee, all of them now he says, no, they all have their regional ambitions. मैं इससे बाहर हो रहा हूँ. All right, let me go to Vijay Grover. I think Suresh, we're having some technical problems. Vijay Grover, how are you doing? Good to see you on the show. Vijay, you know, the thing is that when Karnataka results came out and everyone was euphoric because it was a fabulous kind of, victory for the Congress party, unprecedented as it were in the times that we live in. KCR was the only one who told his cadre that, they've got a good mandate, but Karnataka is Karnataka, let's ignore it, let's just focus on Telangana. I know that he has no truck with the Congress party in Telangana and therefore perhaps he said it. But isn't it now clear that he wants to stand alone, stand by the side and really target New Delhi, Vijay Grover?
Well, Sudha, you put the nail on the head, and the first thing that, the question in everybody's mind is, why him? I mean, I can understand, people in his state, in his cadre, his party, his followers, everybody would want to see him as a prime minister. But the first question to anybody who doesn't stay in Telangana is, why him? And that's something, because if it's him, then why not Mamata Banerjee? Why not Arvind Kejriwal? Why not Sharad Pawar? Why not you? Because, see, this is the problem. Nobody is willing to give an inch of a ground to accommodate anyone else. The fact that today, if Nitish Kumar is playing the role of, trying to bind everyone together, you must give him credit that at least he's making an effort. But the fact that, if KCR talks on one hand of having an unofficial alliance with the JDS in Karnataka, but at the same time says that, no, I will contest over there. I mean, how is even the JDS going to trust him? So that's something which is very clear. And we saw what happened when Siddaramaiah took charge. Everybody came, there was a show of strength, everybody held hands, and that drama on the stage. But the fact is, did any leader come out and give an assurance even to Rahul Gandhi that, okay, if you form an alliance, we will support you? No. Because, we are not even sure whether there will be 2 fronts or 3 fronts or 4 fronts, because this is something which is, never ending. And what we are seeing now is like leader after leader is traveling states. We saw Kejriwal going to Stalin yesterday. We had Stalin meeting KCR, and we had Nitish Kumar meeting Sharad Pawar.
Yeah.
I mean, there is nothing. I mean, fact is that, if you talk of opposition unity, you need leaders with a large heart who will say, okay, my political interests are secondary. We need to defeat the BJP. So let's work together. That's coming, or no leader is sacrificing his ambition. And you can't have so many leaders. The joke around is that every party has a Chanakya, but the fact is, who's the Chandragupta? That's the question. And that's something which nobody is willing to answer.
That's a very good way of saying it, who's the Chandragupta. Yes, that's pretty much what actually KCR and KTR both said also, what you pointed out about they all have their, the regional satraps have their own, kind of ambitions. But I want to go to Suresh. Suresh, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you clearly.
Yeah, Suresh, tell me something that this kind of, is it even fair for us? I mean, look, nothing is really etched in stone so far as Indian politics is concerned. But I once saw the kind of volte-face done by K Chandrasekhar Rao, KCR Garu. First he said, we will all be together, we have to defeat this man in Delhi, now his stand has changed. Do you think that it's a bit of a Don Quixote moment for him, where he's just, like going, for the windmills, but there is actually nothing, and it is just that he's creating a perception for the elections in Telangana?
Well, just to take you back 5 months ago when he announced the formation of BRS, I had done a video in which I clearly said that he will not get anywhere. Now, when you are trying for a national role, what is it that you will bring to the table in a state like Tamil Nadu, or in a state like Bihar, or in a state like Uttar Pradesh or Madhya Pradesh? You don't have an influence outside your own state. So what kind of national leadership are we talking? I mean, let's be very clear on one thing. There are only two national parties in India, the BJP and the Congress. Aam Aadmi Party might have a status, but it's not a national party in that sense of the word. So what is KCR bringing to the table? Except for money, nothing else. And that's what happened in the Karnataka election. And as one of the earlier guests spoke about, he said, first, I'm going to contest. Then he said, I'm going to campaign. Then he said, no, we will not do anything. And finally, what happened? We saw that. Maharashtra, he said, I will contest the local elections. We'll have to take that with a pinch of salt. And this is the problem with KCR, because I'm from Hyderabad and I can tell you that straight away, this is what he does. Because he has this huge, grandiose ambitions. I know it's called a Don Quixote or something else, but he has his ambition that I want to be the Prime Minister. Prime Minister with what? How many seats do you have in Telangana, assuming that you'll win everything? You don't have that many. That's a problem. So how are you going to say that I'll be a Chandrasekhar, or I'll be a Gujral, or I'll be a Devagowda? It doesn't happen every day. Let's remember, the world changed after 2014 in India. Today, BJP will win at least minimum of 250 on its own. That is the advantage the party has.
Wow.
Down south, you may say they have nothing. They never had anything in south. In Karnataka, they had only presence. But Andhra, Telangana, remember last election, they won 4 seats. That is what we are trying to say, that at the end of the day, the 2024 elections is all like a presidential election. We got Modi ji on one side and we have all the others on the other side. And KCR has burnt his bridges. That's what he did. He should not have done that. His arrogance is costing him dear right now, because he has only one aim, to be the Prime Minister. He doesn't want to be a kingmaker. He wants to be the king. That is the problem. Chandrababu Naidu was far better. At least he knew his limitations very well. And that is why he said, I'll be the kingmaker. But he ended up nowhere, actually. So today the problem is, as was described before, there are players, 100 players on one side, and there is only one player on one side. That is the problem we're having today.
Well, we'll have to wait and see, because, I mean, you're right. I mean, that's what most political analysts are saying, that it's going to be Modi versus the rest. But the point is, you never know, which side, oont kis or karvat badalta hai, like they say. You never know. Indian politics is as unpredictable and exciting as anything like that. PVS Murali, who's a political analyst, is also joining us right now. Murali, I want to ask you, let's look at arithmetic. Arithmetic is more logical than, all these ambitious plans. 17 seats, Mr. KCR, of course, he had Raitu Bandhu scheme, he had Raitu Bima, he did a lot. Today also, yes, we spoke about the Brahmin appeasement also, Murali. But the point is that gunning for Modi time and time again, there was a time when he called him Nalayak. You can go back and check. I'm sure all of you, like me, a journalist, you remember. I thought that was very, very strong words to use. He's the Prime Minister of this country. You may not agree with him, but those are not the words. Even recently, KTR has said Narendra Modi is the most ineffective and incompetent Prime Minister in independent India. He has also criticized the Congress party. Congress ruled for 55 odd years, failed. BJP has ruled for 15 years, has failed. Now, I am asking you, PVS Murali, that is this whole thing about मैं भी प्रधानमंत्री बन सकता हूँ, kind of a dream, is it just for a perception creation? Because you look at arithmetic, you look at everything else, it ain't working.
I mean, you have hit the nail. The math doesn't support the kind of ambition. The only outside chance is that, something, if that happens and he can play a Devagowda kind of thing. And in the Devagowda thing also, it was more by default than by design that he's gotten the PM position. So that's a very, very outside chance, and the probability, if I can put it, it would be 0.001%. Now, having said that, there is nothing wrong in having a personal ambition, but then it should be realistic as well. And in that context, I'm really skeptical about it, because the charity begins at home. And when if it begins at home, that the primary objective is to safeguard the home territory, which itself is a big question, because if you look at it, the Karnataka model, where you have the three tri-party contests, which is natural in Telangana, which means that there would be a split of votes, and obviously that's where the problem starts and it ends, because if you don't get this number of seats for TRS, obviously there's no way they can play a role at the central level. So even assuming that they get an outside chance of 17 out of 17 and then go, still, you can't be a PM. You have to support, because if that happens, and if Rahul Baba gets more seats than him, obviously he would stake his
Absolutely.
claim
Yeah,
in any
yeah,
case.
yeah, yeah.
So that way, either way you look at it, that's a no kind of a
Yeah,
situation.
it's a
But then
no-go.
the
Yeah.
only possibility that can happen, if you look at the home territory, is that if you tie up with Congress and get
Which
the
seems like which doesn't seem like a possibility as of now. I mean,
absolutely,
it is something which is unimaginable, but who knows? Nagesh Kumar, I want to bring you in. You know, they've also gone, the recent interview by KTR, that is KCR's son, he said, people are, the political parties are ready to align with us in Maharashtra, because he said that he will fight the local body elections. He said, we've got a lot of feelers from Karnataka. I mean, for the benefit of the viewers, I mean, what is this great grand plan that KCR and KTR have to go fight elections in Maharashtra, as it were?
No, I don't believe in that theory that, just because the Telugu population lives there, or because when Hyderabad state was, you see, they're mainly targeting the districts where the old Hyderabad state existed. That is both in Karnataka as well as in Maharashtra. Bidar, Raichur and all that, and in Maharashtra, some other districts. But the people there owe their loyalty to the state, irrespective of the language that they speak. They may be Telugu speaking people,
right?
But they may be supporting some party issues in Congress, NCP or BJP for that matter.
Right.
But suddenly, because a party from the neighboring state comes and offers them a new model of development, I don't think that they will be carried away by that. See, KCR has got very high opinion of his own schemes. Today, if you have seen the papers, today newspapers carried
6 ads. Yeah, 8 page, every paper I saw. Yeah.
Yeah. So that is what he wants to show, that there is no other state like Telangana, which is only partly true, in the sense that for all the politics that we see in Karnataka is the number one state among the bigger states. So you see, the whole problem is KCR right from the beginning, at least from the last 20 years when he launched his Telangana Rashtra Samiti, is not a person who would like to be led. He wants to lead. That is why, when he was made Deputy Speaker of the Assembly, he quit the Telugu Desam Party and launched his own party. Right. Even now, he would like to be at the apex point of the opposition.
And that is where is the problem, Vijay, what Nagesh said, and very well put by him. Vijay Grover, the thing is that all these people who are there, whether it is Nitish Babu, I mean, okay, let's forget Nitish Babu for a moment, whether it is Mamata, all of them, I'm not saying Stalin, but Mamata for sure, everyone would want, I will lead it. So don't you think that, and what Murali was saying, that the times have changed, even Suresh was saying it, Devegowda, I.K. Gujral, I mean, it was a different India altogether. Now all these regional satraps have their own kind of, ambitions, and they are not going to give up. And don't you think that, I'm sticking my neck out, that don't you think it becomes rather strange to be fighting against someone like Narendra Modi also? I mean, where is your plan? What is your plan?
Yeah, see, Sudha, one thing that is very clear on this entire thing, that we need to look not just at 2024, we also need to look at the 2026 delimitation. The fact that there will be a big disadvantage for the southern states, because the representation in the parliament is going to come down by nearly 2%, and that's a worry for all the southern states and the political parties of the south, because you would never have that kind of a thing. Mamata Banerjee, I feel, would be more qualified to become the Prime Minister candidate for the simple reason that, she's going to be having about 73 seats post 2026 in the delimited horizon. And that is going to make her one of the most powerful in terms of thing after Maharashtra. So clearly, this is something where, the politics of India is going to get skewed, where we see that developed states would actually be paying the price for having planned better, or having better family planning implementation, rather than the North Indian states of Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, and others, who actually are going to benefit from the lack of development, and that's something which is going to be a concern. I don't understand that these leaders, while they're throwing up their political ambition, they're not discuss the fact that how the states which contribute to the GDP, the states which contribute to the development of the country, are actually going to get disadvantaged. And if they're not able to whip up that sentiment, also, or not able to capitalize on that sentiment, I'm sure everything else will have to fall out. What we need, as I told you at the beginning of the show, is people or leaders or regional satraps to come up with a big heart that, look, I'm sacrificing my ambition. I'm going to contribute to building an opposition unity, and if that announcement comes, I'm sure that leader would be respected more, recognized better.
Right.
But unfortunately, none of them have said anything.
Right. Suresh, what Vijay Grover brought up, I mean, KTR has also spoken about that and said, listen, I am not creating a north-south divide, but this delimitation exercise is going to create a disadvantage for us and for several other southern states who performed much, much better than what the North Indian states have done. It is a fact. So in a way, do you think that when you look at the south, whether it is Pinarayi, whether it is Stalin, whether it is Siddaramaiah, in that, even in that kind of a thing, which is below the Vindhyas, all of us, that somehow KCR is trying to be the spokesperson and the leader of this group? Because Pinarayi hasn't, they are all speaking about Pinarayi hasn't committed so much, but Stalin has met with, with Arvind Kejriwal, and even Siddaramaiah has said that we have to unite. It was very, very apparent that day on the swearing-in ceremony also. So, do you think that even in that group, KCR wants to say, listen, I'm going to stand right in front, you all follow me?
Well, I think one of the basic blunders that KCR did initially was that when he went to Maharashtra, he enticed many leaders from the NCP, junior leaders, very, very junior leaders from NCP, Congress and Shiv Sena. Now, when you're going to ally with those very people, how can you cut the ground under their feet? And that's exactly what Sharad Pawar was saying. And he put up Sharad Pawar like anything. And after that, Sharad Pawar hasn't met him at all. Same thing he did in Karnataka. He went and tried, because you build up a cadre when you're a new party, you need to build up the cadre from the grassroots level. And if you go and pick up people from the other parties, those parties, especially the ones whom you're going to ally with, why will they come with you? And definitely, yes, the delimitation thing is a big thing that is hanging around. But remember, Telangana seats, AP and Telangana put together are going to increase to 54 from 42 now. Of course, UP will gain big time because UP is talking of, as per the analysis, 141 seats against 80 that we have now. But Bihar has 79. They're going to get 79 out of 40. But KCR's problem was principle that he aimed too high. I mean, I should not be saying that aukat rehna chahiye, but this is what one should realize one's limitations. One should be clear about what one can do and what one cannot do. And if you try and do so many things, well, you know what happens then. And that's exactly what happened with KCR. He didn't have any approach. He just wanted to be a neta. And there was all those people who kind of hype him up by putting those huge hoardings in Hyderabad, calling him Desh ka neta, should get a reality check. Okay, it's not a Devagowda regime anymore. It's not a Gujral regime or not a Chandrasekhar one. This is now a parliamentary kind of, presidential kind of election that is happening. And definitely a 2024 is that. You need to project yourself. The other day also there was a magazine survey by a reputed magazine. KCR was not even in the 1%. Modi was some 47 and Rahul Gandhi was some 29. And, Mamata Banerjee 2%, Akhilesh something else. But KCR was not even in the picture.
Right.
There were instances, I come from Kerala, even though I grew up in Hyderabad, people are asking, why is this advertisements coming in Kerala? Who is this person? And I had to answer that question. I think he's my chief minister. But why is he advertising in Kerala? I had no answer for that.
Yeah, because his ads, his hoardings were also there in Banaras, let me tell you, in many parts of Uttar Pradesh. I mean, it came up and they said, "Ye kaun hai?" So they had to answer, "Bhai, ye South ka ek chief minister hai." So it is very clear. And I'm going to show you, all of you and the viewers, what we are asking today, and that's the question. KCR's PM ambitions, he wants to be Prime Minister, but all the reputed journalists, senior enough, seasoned, who have covered election after election, have said the maths also doesn't work, as in the arithmetic doesn't work, and even other things. He's ambitious. Ambition is a good thing, but is he realistic? Not really. PVS Murali, I want to come to you. It's very clear that someone said that, it's very clear, I think Nagesh said it, that, that he wants to go to the center and he wants KTR to actually take over as Chief Minister. Now, I don't think, and I don't want to stick my neck out, but it seems that they will sail through the elections because, Congress is in the shambles there. BJP, of course, we'll wait and watch. But as of now, hypothetically, if they do well. Now, KTR, because KTR has also this image of being a very, very global citizen, IT, modernity, getting all the companies and all the investment. On the other hand, this man, that is the father, KCR, he's done what is really politically good, and he's done due diligence, this Bima, I mean, Raitu Bima, Raita Bandhu. So, do you think that this seems more plausible, although it may not come to fruition? I will go to Delhi, you handle Hyderabad.
Yeah, I mean that's the whole origin point of the whole scheme. He had this. I mean, like any family party, he's also got the sunstroke, and that is that you have to make way for KTR to become the chief minister. And if he becomes the chief minister, what is the role that KCR is going to play? So obviously, the only slot that is vacant today is go to the national scene and do it. And in national scene, as we all know, he wants to be led than being he wants to lead than being led. So which means that he's started with the PM's ambition. And okay, you aim at the sky. At the end of the day, you may still land at the treetop. But then the treetop is also is a big scenario because you don't find the tree there. So in that context, yes, KTR is if the sun rises in the east and sets in the west, and TRS wins, and then he becomes the chief minister, that's a happy ending. But then, is that going to happen? I mean, I have my own doubts about it because there are many self goals that he has already put in by the BRS already put in. So I mean, you start as in with a lot of handicap, so I think there is a threat, and as I won't really agree with you in the context that Congress is a also ran party in Telangana, because over the period of time they have gained a lot, and they are still a force to reckon in the certain pockets of Telangana. So we cannot really discount the Congress either.
Yeah, it was hypothetical. You're right.
It is typically going to be a typical tri-party contest, and whoever crosses the goalpost first, they will win. And in that context, I think TRS is started already with a lot of handicap, and if they have to do anything, at least the local ambition, then they have to do a lot of things in the next 6 months.
All right. Vijay, I'm going to come to you. I want to ask you this. I've always thought about it, that here is a man from the south who speaks near perfect Hindi. It's very important, the whole breaking the language mold. Stalin will not speak Hindi. It's not that he does not. He will not speak Hindi. Pinarayi, does not. The rest do not. Here is a man who can give you a run for your money in Hindi. हमारी तरह बोलते हैं, या हैदराबाद में उनकी परवरिश हुई है, तो जाहिर सी बात है. Do you think that the whole BRS thing is also around this man who can talk to a Nitish, who can talk to a Tejasvi, who can talk to a Yogi Adityanath in the language, and maybe that's why he says, India, embrace me. Do you think that is one factor which can work maybe to his advantage?
Well, see, Sudha, it can work to a very small extent for the simple reason. आप हिंदी बोल के दिल बहला सकते हो लोगों का, आप एक कम्युनिकेशन कर सकते हो, पर क्या आप वोटर्स में या जो अन्य लीडर्स है, can you become acceptable to them? That's certainly not. Maybe a Nitish Kumar may become a friend with him, but will Nitish be able to, tell his followers that okay, let's accept KCR as a leader and let's start working with him for his ambition? I'm
Right.
sure it will not happen because that state prides that have come up, and that's something which has become only very stronger in the last 7-8 years, where we see that every state wants to outsmart the other one in terms of things. So that's certainly not something which will win us. Also, the fact that there is one thing that we need to understand: the recent excise case which is going on against
Yes.
the Delhi liquor scam, in which Kavita is one of the co-accused. That is certainly going to be a trouble for him in the future, because whenever the BJP feels that he is growing too big, I'm sure there's going to be something that's more going to come out from the ED's table. So that is something that is going to be like a hindrance, and I don't think so that he will be able to muster that kind of support or win over hearts of the North Indian people. Not by ads at least. Let him at least start traveling, and he's not done and met the people
Absolutely.
of North
Yeah.
India or East India.
But if
And
one
that's
knows,
a different ballgame altogether.
yes, I mean, if one knows KCR, he'll make a martyr out of Kavita Garu also, But thank you so much. The verdict is out, or almost as of now, that you think that it is a pipe dream. That is KCR's national dream of becoming Prime Minister. Thanks are due to Vijay Grover, Nagesh Kumar, Suresh Kochitil, and PVS Murali. Thanks indeed. Today is Telangana Day. It is completely K Chandrasekhar Rao's day, because it was him, his struggle, which carved a state like Telangana out of what was united Andhra Pradesh. But will he be the Prime Minister? Well, almost everyone on the show said seems a bit, premature right now. But who knows? Indian politics can always surprise us. So for more, keep watching News9 Live.